Welcome to the PrEP Parent Advocacy video tutorial. During this video, we will talk about what is advocacy and how you can be the best advocate for your child. This video tutorial is brought to you by PrEP, the Parental Readiness and Empowerment Program, an initiative of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under Law. The purpose of PrEP is to improve student performance, reduce the achievement gap, and provide access to equal educational opportunities. We work to help parents become more involved with their child's education. We provide webinars and video tutorials, parent advocacy guides, workshops, and educational consultation clinics. We also work to ensure that parents have the tools to advocate for their children so that they have access to a quality education and greater educational opportunity. We offer helpful information, not legal advice, when we try to be accurate, but rules can change or may vary by state and district. This video is divided into two sections. The first covers what your general rights are as a parent, what is advocacy, and why you should advocate. The second section focuses on how to be a strong advocate for your child, by teaching the basic skills of advocacy and the skills needed to be a strong advocate, such as communication and conflict resolution. So let's get started. Parent advocacy is important because you are your child's best advocate. You are the expert on your child. No one knows their needs and abilities like you do. Two of the most important factors in parent advocacy are that parents know how to advocate and that parents feel confident in their ability to advocate for their child. By watching this video, you are already demonstrating impressive advocacy skills since you are taking steps to better support your child. We are here to provide you with more tools for you to increase your advocacy skills and increase your confidence in advocating for your child. Here you can see a list of general rights that you may have as a parent. While your rights will be specific to your child's school district, this list can help you see the ways that you and your child also have rights with respect to your child's education. Visit your school or school district's website to find out what your specific rights are. This information can be very useful in figuring out what you can do to advocate for your child. Some of your basic rights may include the right to a free public school education, the right to get information about your child, the right to be actively involved in your child's education, the right to file complaints about issues that affect your child's education, the right to be treated courteously and respectfully by school staff, and the right to be treated as an individual regardless of race, national origin, economic status, sex, or age. The important thing to know is that you and your child have rights. You have a say in the education and treatment that your child receives, and as a parent, you can represent your child's needs to ensure that they achieve as much as possible. There are also more resources to help you figure out the specifics of your state on the PrEP website at www.prepparents.org. As a parent, you have the right to communication from your child's school in a language you can understand. You also have the right to request a conference with your child's teacher or principal. You have the right to be notified of your child's performance on standardized and statewide tests and the school's ranking on these tests. You have the right to receive information about the academic standards that your child is required to meet. You also have the right to be notified of your child's academic progress, review your child's curriculum for his or her classes, and to be notified of how your child did on standardized tests. As a parent, you have the right to view and request corrections to your child's student records and have the records sent to another school if your child transfers schools. The type of information kept in student records includes enrollment information, attendance and health records, test scores and grades, teacher observations, discipline history, and special education records. Sometimes, districts keep separate files for each student, academic, discipline, or special education, so you may need to request each one specifically. Again, you'll need to follow up by checking your school district's local policies to find out exactly what your rights are in your district, but these examples show the important role that you can have in your child's education. So now that you have an idea of your rights as a parent, let's figure out how you can advocate to make sure that your child's rights and your rights as a parent are being respected. So what is advocacy? Advocacy is about supporting or arguing in favor of something to achieve a desired goal or result. The examples you see here are all examples of advocacy. Advocacy can result from months of preparation or can happen when you notice that someone needs help. Either way, you have a voice and your child needs you to use your voice to secure their future. Now that you have an idea of what advocacy is, let's talk about the different types of advocacy. First is individual advocacy. It's for a single person or family and does not involve a large group of people. It is often short-term and has a specific solution. An example of individual advocacy is if your child is struggling in math and you reach out to your child's teacher to set up a meeting to ask for help for your child. Group advocacy is just like it sounds, advocacy by a group. Group advocacy usually deals with common issues of a smaller scale and may still have a personal feel to it, but it is usually more organized and deals with more people than individual advocacy and may have a common solution. For example, you may find out that your child isn't the only one having problems in math class, and there are several other children struggling with math. You can talk with the parents of those children and set up a group meeting with the teacher and possibly the principal to deal with the issue. It may take a couple of meetings to come up with solutions, but you'll work together with other parents to get the outcome to support your child. The other type of advocacy is social advocacy, which involves many people and usually addresses systemic issues. This means a problem that is due to the entire system and has a wide effect and not just on one specific individual factor. A variety of different groups may organize and work together to change a very large problem. Many parents and students across the country can be involved. So let's focus on a specific example of parent advocacy, one that began as individual advocacy, turned into group advocacy, and then developed into social advocacy, impacting the education of special needs children across the country. This change was brought by parent advocates in special education. Children with disabilities did not always have special education rights. They were often sent away to medical institutions who would care for children, but not provide them with any real education. A child with a disability was excluded from her school district based on her disability. Her mother, Janet Taggart, began to advocate for her daughter. First, her advocacy began at the individual level, but she soon connected with 3 mothers who also had children with disabilities. They advocated for their children together, a great example of group advocacy. Janet and the 3 other mothers grouped together to stop the segregation of children with disabilities. They began a successful lobbying campaign to open Washington state school districts to students with special needs by drafting legislation, recruiting senators, and teaming up with local law school students. Their hard work led to the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, enacted by Congress in 1975. What Janet began as an attempt to positively change her daughter's educational experience transformed into national legislation, providing rights for children with disabilities. As you can see, parent advocacy can have a very positive effect on your child's education. So why should you advocate for your child's education? On average, the children of engaged parents are able to achieve at half a grade level higher than children of less engaged parents. That's what parent advocacy is all about, giving your child the richest and best education possible. Congratulations! Now that you know what advocacy is, you can continue to the next video to learn more about the skills necessary to be a strong and effective advocate.